Okay, play. Hey you guys, today I am coming to you from my basement. My little one is napping. I've gotten all the work that I need to get done. I'm about to work out before he wakes up, but I figured I'd hop on here and continue this vlog. Last week I spoke about how I wanted to start a vlog in 2023. I kept wanting to have this like sit down format, but I really wasn't able to keep up with this like making the time, separating myself from my kids, my work, like the day to day, all that stuff. So instead I'm just incorporating it in my life, hence why I'm in the basement, why my dog is panting in the background. If you hear barking or noise or see any weird things from the back door, it's like, that's just life. But what is the point of today's video? Today, I just kind of wanted to dive in to why I got started or how I got started in children's book and children's publishing in the first place. So let's rewind back to 2016, 2017. I had two kids under the age of like, 3 at the time. So my hands were full, but I had this idea for a picture book. Now, this is a picture book that was inspired from my days traveling abroad in college. So it had been with me for many years up until the point I had kids. At this point, though, I knew I wanted to do something with it. It had been an idea for so long, but I didn't know what to do with it. So I wrote it, and then I joined something called the SCBWI, Society of Children's Books Writers and Illustrators, and I learned about something called Kidlit Nights, and I don't know if they're affiliated or how it came to be. I think they're two separate things, but basically I joined some groups that were making children's books, and it's basically just other writers, illustrators, both published and unpublished, that were coming together to talk about the craft, talk about their journey, talk about what's succeeding, what's working, what's not working, and how to just keep going. You know, writing and publishing can be really deflating, but being around other people that are doing it with you was encouraging. And I learned a lot about traditional publishing and how long of a road that is, and I learned about self-publishing. And number one, how it's a shorter path to publishing, right? But also it's a bit of a sandbox in the sense that you get to experiment with your style, with marketing, with sales, and a lot of things that frankly traditionally published authors, they need to have those kind of muscles too. They need to be comfortable selling their own book and promoting themselves. So I decided to self-publish my first picture book. I did it with Ingram Spark. I did it with Amazon. I funded it through a Kickstarter campaign. So I just got a lot of these skills and experiences under my belt. It was really fun. From that came a few other opportunities to illustrate 3 other picture books. Those picture books were also independently published. And really, I found my niche in illustrating books that were telling diverse stories. And it was fun to be around. It really filled me with life. But at the same time, I was getting a lot of questions from writers and illustrators about how can they succeed in self-publishing? How can they go and start writing their own children's books and publishing their own children's books? So I wanted to teach this information. I kind of made a bit of an outline of a course and pitched it to a local writing nonprofit called the Writer Center, and they said, yeah, this is valuable, go ahead, teach. So I taught my first course with them, and I got great feedback from the students that were there. Using that feedback, I kind of built the course up, tailored it to the audience every single time. And then from teaching these courses came speaking engagements at conferences. So local conferences eventually led to national conferences. And then with COVID, these conferences were moving online. So I was able to speak at conferences that weren't even local, weren't just not even in my time zone, things that wouldn't have been feasible pre-COVID and pre-pandemic. But all of it, it's a lot of little steps that kind of led to bigger successes. And now I'm at a point where, you know, I've never been traditionally published, and just the closer in proximity I get to traditional publishing, I don't really know if I have the desire to be traditionally published. There are a lot of frustrations I hear from traditionally published authors, and frankly, I kind of feel and sense that why can't I do it myself? I just see it, honestly in my mind, I'm like, it's just business. All these business principles are kind of the same, and I feel like I'm gonna hit my stride when I apply it to an area that I love, and that's children's publishing and children's media in general. So that's how I started in children's publishing. And if we were to ask what is the point of today's video, I think it's just get started. When I started, I had 2 little kids. under the age of 3. I was super overwhelmed, super exhausted. I really didn't know what I was doing, which is why I went and joined these Kidlit groups, because I wanted to learn from other people and see what worked for them and how could I incorporate it, how could I make it possible. I guess my commitment to getting it done was bigger than my commitment to getting it done perfectly. And I think that holds a lot of writers, creatives back, honestly, especially, and this is where I see it the most, professional people. Professional people have built their careers, they've built a reputation, they've built a name for themselves, so they don't want anything to jeopardize that, which I get and I totally respect. So I'm hoping that with this YouTube channel, you can see all the failures and mistakes and lessons so that you can incorporate that and really produce a product, a book that you're proud of, and you're so proud that you look forward to promoting it instead of being fearful to promote it. But that's it for this week. How did I get started? Totally small beginnings, just mom, a Kickstarter campaign because I couldn't afford it myself, and then a lot of little baby steps along the way, pitching myself, taking on indie clients, all the things. And now the next venture is to go and do it myself, open my own business, open my own publishing house, and start, publishing the books that are meaningful to me. And I really hope for the love of God that they're meaningful with an audience. Okay, until next time. Bye. The lighting just got dark because the sun went away. It's really high tech, you guys.